Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to answer the age-old question of what is the best guitar pick for shredding. And we're also going to have a look at the worst picks for shredding and the ones you should avoid. But before we begin, I know that everyone's different, everyone has different styles, everyone has different picking techniques and preferences. So these are all just my opinions and it's all in good fun. So let's check it out. So starting off with the absolute worst pick for shredding, we have this guy over here. Now this pick needs no introductions, but if you haven't heard of it, this is the shark fin. And you might be thinking the reason it's bad for shredding is something to do with the shape, right? It has all these weird bits sticking out, but that's actually not the problem. The problem with this pick is how thin it is, right? As you can see here, it's very, very bendable. And that bendiness is helpful in some ways because it makes the pick very easy and forgiving to use. Also, it's great for strumming, but when it comes to shredding, if you can pretend my finger is a guitar string, with these very thin picks, when they bend on the string like that before passing through to sound the note, it creates this kind of delay in your playing. So when you want to play fast, there's some latency. It feels very easy to use, but that slight delay creates a pretty big problem when you want to play fast. The other major problem I have with these picks is that the tips wear down very quickly. I've been using this pick for about 5 minutes and I've already worn away the tip of the pick here. Even when we use different shape picks, we still have the same problems with the bendiness. But something I must say about these very thin picks is that they really don't need any grip. This pick is super shiny and super slippery, but it will not slip out of your hands while you're playing. The reason for that is when you put it in between your fingers, it's so thin that it kind of molds into the shape in between your fingers, kind of locking it in place like that. So yeah, when it comes to these thin picks, it doesn't matter about the size or shape. They aren't good for shredding, in my opinion. But what do I know? Paul Gilbert actually uses a pick that is somehow thinner than this. So Paul, I don't know how you do it. And I've just found out that Dick Dale used to use these kind of picks as well for his music. Right, so now we're moving on to thicker picks and bigger picks. So right here we have a standard 1mm Tortex, right? It's a pretty standard big pick. I find that they give you a lot of stability when you're playing. But for me personally, I have to sacrifice some precision when using a bigger pick. But having that pointier tip really helps with focus and accuracy as well. So I'd say these kind of picks are a happy balance between playing lots of rhythm and lots of lead, and just overall a good all-rounder. And now moving on to the gold standard of shredding picks, we have the Jazz 3. Now I'm sure you've all used one of these before. It's small, it's made of nylon, and shredders love it. For me personally, I really want to love this pick, but I've always had a big problem with it. Actually, two problems. One is that whenever I'm playing a live show with one of these and my hand starts to sweat, it creates this horrible sticky feeling, but that sticky feeling doesn't help with the grip. It actually makes the pick slip out of my hand uncontrollably. I don't know, maybe that's just a me thing. But the other problem I've had with these picks is that I kind of have to wear down the tip when they're brand new. So if I'm playing live and I want to grab a new pick, the tip feels very strange for some time until it wears away a bit. And again, the great thing about these very small picks is that their size really helps them with precision. But the trade-off of using a small pick is that you have to be very focused on your technique if you want to use them correctly. So now we're keeping in the same vein, but we're going even thicker. Right here, I have a 1.5 Tortex Flex pick. I actually don't know why it's called a flex pick. It's so thick, it does not flex at all. And I think these picks are a great improvement over the regular Jazz 3 because the tips don't need time to wear down a bit before the pick feels good. But the problem I have with this pick is that at the back, there is zero grip whatsoever. So when you start to play and you start to sweat, the pick slides out of your hand, right? It's sliding along your finger. So Dunlop, my question to you is why would you do this to such a great pick?
Why? 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 Why?
And now without further ado, moving on to the greatest pick for shredding, in my opinion. And that is the Dunlop Jazz 3 Ultex 2mm.
Wow.
Now this guy is thick, he is beefy. So what actually makes this pick so great? Well, firstly, because it's not made of nylon like a regular Jazz 3 or Tortex, it doesn't slip around the fingers. Secondly, Ultex is a super durable material, so you're going to be able to use the pick for longer before you need a new one. And lastly, having a 2mm pick may sound like it's too thick to use, but when you're picking fast, it just goes over the string without any problems, as opposed to the very thin picks that bend on the string like that. Now, a lot of people don't like these very thick picks when it comes to rhythm, but I found as long as you have the right angle, it works great. The only downside I can think of when it comes to this pick is that thicker picks tend to create a bit of a chirpy sound when we want to play fast. Right, but I don't have much of a problem with that. So yeah guys, if you're looking for a pick to help with your shredding, I would definitely give this one a go. I'm not trying to market this pick, obviously Dunlop's not sponsoring this, I make no money from it, but I do think that thicker picks are great for shredding. So the next time you're in a guitar shop or you're looking at some music gear online, maybe pick up some thicker picks, and I really don't think you'll be disappointed. But anyway guys, that's all from me today, so if you did find this video helpful or informative in any way, please consider leaving a like or a comment. I really appreciate it. And of course, you can subscribe for more as well if you want to. Otherwise, thank you for watching if you did make it this far, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.